don't worry, this is not going to be a regular thing. So I did that last tier list, and it actually did pretty well, so I figured I'd do at least one more. I think the meme is starting to die down a little bit, but I really wanted to do this anyway. So I did animated series last time, and I figured, what the heck, I should probably just do animated movies, and we got quite a few of these as well. There's a lot of different templates. There's ones for specifically Disney and Studio Ghibli and etc. This one is 100+ movies, and it covers just about everything. You got Disney, Pixar, Warner Brothers, DreamWorks, Blue Sky. You got some anime stuff in there, Studio Ghibli. There's Don Bluth and a whole bunch of things in there. You got the works. So I was gonna do this one. I actually wanted to do an anime list. Unfortunately, all of the anime lists I saw were not very good, and like I need one for like 80s, 90s, 2000s, and there's a lot of stuff that's recent that I haven't I don't know much about. And I actually do have one here, and you see there's another problem with this. Look at this friggin' sensory overload here. Like, how am I supposed to identify half of this stuff? Like, I don't even know what some of these, like, there's Samurai Champloo, there's One Piece, there's Hunter x Hunter, and I don't know what most of the stuff, like, what is this? What is this? Like, how is people supposed to recognize, like, what is this to me? I don't know what this is. Again, some I can recognize, but, is that Pengu? What the hell's Pengu doing on here? Alright, I don't get this. I would have done an anime list, but again, it's kind of difficult to do anime on this thing. Although, since I'm here, I might as well piss off a few people. And there we go. And there we go. Alright, enough of that. Let's get rid of that. Okay, so animated films list. We got 100 to go through. Hopefully this won't take as long as the last list. I do want to make one quick adjustment here. So I'm changing this to bad. Alright. And because I feel like doesn't hold up also kind of falls under bad. And I'm changing bad to have not seen. So there we go, because there are a couple things on here that I actually have not seen before. I haven't taken a close look at this, but I did see a couple things that I don't think I should really comment on. All right, so let's get started here. Also keep in mind, this is my opinion. All right, this is just how I feel about these movies. Some of these are probably going to be different for other people, so if that's the case, make your own list. All right, we got a lot to go through, so let's get started here. First one up is Akira. Oh boy, I put Akira on my 5 movies, animated movies that everyone likes, but I don't list. Unfortunately, it is the case with this. I appreciate this movie on a technical level. It is very well animated, has amazing visuals, but God, is it kind of nonsensical. And there's a reason for that. It's because the manga series for it is like, it's a huge story arc, and they tried to cram it all into, well, not all of it, but they tried to take a small part of it and put it into a movie. And they're trying to do it again with the live action movie. So, good luck with that. So, given that it's mostly just for, technical reasons, I'm going to put it in good. I don't hate this movie, but yeah, I don't, it's not one of the best in my opinion. Yugioh. Oh yeah, the Yugioh movie. I forgot Yugioh had a movie. Never seen it. Well, it's going to be a little easier than we thought. Space Jam. Why is that on here? Well, then Roger Rabbit's on here as well. All right, fine. Live action and animation kind of go together. Space Jam I kind of liked as a kid. Right now, I couldn't be bothered, to be honest. I will... Again, it's kind of a marvel, especially back then when they put, animated characters alongside live-action actors and make it seem pretty seamless. I will put this in good fun for kids, and that's about the best I can do for this one. Who Framed Roger Rabbit, on the other hand, that is an absolute classic. That one holds up very well. I'm putting that in the best regardless. Oh, actually, I think I'm going to do what I did last time. I'm going to put all the really good ones up here, and then I'm going to pick one to be the best, because it says the best. So there really can only be one the best. Next up is Big Hero 6, the animated film. I really like Big Hero 6. Well, actually no, because we don't have that many tiers. I'm gonna just forget that. I'm just gonna, yeah, amazing, and then the best. This will be some of the best, because Big Hero 6, I don't know if I could put that in good. And it's definitely not of the best. So I'm gonna give it amazing. I think it's great. I think they did a good job considering the source material. And who doesn't love Baymax? Am I right? Toy Story, the original Toy Story. God, can you believe how long Toy Story's been around? The first game, the first movie, rather, had a Sega Genesis game. And I actually have that. I was thinking of maybe playing it on the gameplay channel. I love Toy Story. Toy Story is one of my favorite movie trilogies of all time. That's going in best. The Great Mouse Detective. I love The Great Mouse Detective. It's one of my favorite Disney movies. I'm going to put that one in amazing. It definitely deserves. It's kind of on, in my opinion, on the line between the best and amazing. So we'll leave it there for now. Kubo and the Two Strings. This movie does not get the love it deserves. Still, even to this day, and I know a lot of people have since started to discover it, and it's been getting more credit than it got when it first came out. But God, it's such a great movie. And if you've not seen Kubo yet, you got to see Kubo. It's easily Studio Laika's best, and certainly the best animated film that came out during what year was that? Was that 2018? 2017? No, it wasn't last year. It was the year before. Or whatever year this was. Whatever year this was, it was the best movie of that year, all right? So, next up, we have How to Train Your Dragon. I friggin' love How to Train Your Dragon. I've actually not yet have seen the third one. I have it. I have the Blu-ray within arm's reach of me right now. So, I'm going to go ahead and put that in the best, regardless. Definitely DreamWorks' best franchise. I can't wait to see the third one. I will get on that as soon as I can. I really wish I saw it when it came out, but things kind of got messy earlier this year. So, The Legend of the Guardians, the Owls of Gaul. That one is very underrated. It's based off a book series, if I'm not mistaken. I really, really liked it when it first came out. It has pretty much been forgotten about since, which is a shame. It is really good. It has a great message of, the idea that there is no glory in war and things like that, and that, finding, you've been like dreaming of something your whole life, and then when you finally achieve that dream, it might not be exactly what you want. So, and God, I saw it in IMAX 3D, and funny story, there's a scene in the movie where one of the little owlets coughs up a hairball, and they cough it right into the camera, and I saw that in IMAX 3D. So, I'm going to put this one in good. It is very good. Probably one of the higher... man, do I have to put it next to Akira? No, I'm going to move it up. I'm going to move it up. That's fine. I think it belongs there. B-movie. Oh, my God. Memes, am I right? So here's a shock. I've actually never seen B-movie. I've actually... I did see a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff about it, and it was very interesting, because apparently Jerry Seinfeld had, full creative control over that movie, and that's why it turned out the way it did. Probably it was, from what I've seen, it's not necessarily a bad movie. It's just he didn't really write it with kids in mind. Like, there's a whole like court scene in it, and I'm like, you really gonna put this in a kids movie? But yeah, never seen B movie. I never actually watched it, so it's gonna go in there. The Ant Bully. Wow, that's a movie that sure got forgotten about. I never seen it. Wasn't this one like live action, half live action, and then he went, and then when he shrunk down, he became animated? Or am I thinking of another movie? I think that might be another movie. But regardless, I have not seen it. Surf's Up. I actually hadn't seen this movie until I did my review of the inexplicable Surf's Up revival sequel starring members of the WWE. I, to this day, do not understand how that happened. I did watch it to prepare myself for that review, and you know what? This movie's kind of underrated. Like, I kind of liked how they shot it. Like, the whole thing played out like it was like a documentary style thing where they were like interviewing and following around all these characters and talking to them about surfing and stuff. So I'm gonna put that in good. Yeah, I think it definitely it's a good movie for what it is. It's better than a movie about surfing penguins had any right to be. That's for sure. Rango. Oh man, I know I've seen Rango, but I honestly can't remember much about it. Again, this is another like really forgotten movie that came out. It's like Johnny Depp as a chameleon or whatever, and they have like this whole Wild West thing going on, and yeah, it's about as much as I remember. I don't remember hating it, so I'm gonna put it in fun for kids, because that's probably what it is. Maybe, I don't know. It seems a bit gritty for a kids movie, or gritty not in the right ways. You know what I mean? Madagascar 2. Never seen it, actually. I keep forgetting how many Madagascar movies there are. I think there's like 4 of them, at least as of this video. Who knows if they're gonna revive it or not? But honestly, I cannot comment on it because I've not seen it. This, on the other hand, WALL-E. WALL-E. One of Pixar's best, in my opinion. A movie that really needs no introduction. Everybody loves WALL-E. Everyone who has seen WALL-E loves WALL-E. I am trying to go a little quick with these, so I'm not doing this for over an hour like I did with the last video, because, oh boy, we got a lot to get through. All right, Despicable Me 2. I like the Despicable Me series. I've seen all 3 movies. I think they're fine. People disregard them because of the Minions, and honestly, I don't blame them. Though, like the Minions, I don't hate the Minions like most people do. I think they can be funny when they have their moments, but when they're used correctly, they can be good comic relief.